let's get going. So as you know, today the session is going to be on storytelling. And I don't necessarily mean it to be like, okay, let's tell a story to a child. No, no, no. Although we'll practice, we'll do lots of exercises to make sure we know how to speak. Okay? So the first screen I'd like to share with you. Today I will be sharing many screens with you. So hold on a second. The first one is going to be this one. Please, can you take a look and tell me, first of all, if you can see it well? Can you read the writing? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes, can you read the writing? And Martin, in particularly, you couldn't see one of the documents last time. Martin, can you see the document? Okay. Do you need?
Yes, it's okay.
It's okay. Okay, fine. So can we have one of you reading it out? Maybe Clara, could you read out from I woke up? Can you read it if you can see it?
Yes. I woke up this morning with the smell of burning in my nostrils. Even with the curtains closed, I could see blazing flames outside the window.
And it's not finished. Thank you very much, Clara. That was amazing. Thank you. So this is just a practice exercise. So let's all have a think. What's next? What's going to happen next? And here at the bottom of the screen, you can see some questions. So what do you see when you open the curtains? How do you feel? What's your plan? So what I would like all of you to do now is to start either typing or writing, and then, or maybe just throw some ideas at me. So what do you think is going to happen next? So each one of you think of 1 or 2 sentences, please. Okay? Let's go. So I'll give you a minute and then we'll start checking them. Okay, let's go. Who wants to share? If you want to, you can either type it in the conversation window, or you can speak out. Manon, do you want to speak or write? What do you want? Do you want to read out perhaps what you've written?
Yes, so I wrote, I was going in the kitchen and I called some helps.
So I went to the kitchen and I called for help. Okay, very good. Does anyone else have a scenario, a different scenario? Aline, Martin, Clara?
I wrote, I could hear the birds song outside.
Okay, so that's it, neutral, very good. Okay. Clara, what about you?
Yes.
It's just a practice one, relax, it's just a practice one.
Yes, I could see the animals that are running around, and then I got scared.
Oh, right, so you could imagine some panic. Okay, very good. Aline, yes. Do you want to share something, or do you want to wait for the next one? Aline?
I prefer.
Okay, yeah, you can write. You can write. I'll check it afterwards if you want.
Yes.
So this was a practice one. So here, as you can see, you get an idea as to what we're trying to achieve today. I'll give you different scenarios and different exercises. And what you will need to do is you will need to think logically and use the correct tense. So here it was the past simple. I woke up, I went to the kitchen, I saw some animals, and we'll see if we can juggle with the tenses today. So I'm going to stop this one, and we're going to look at another scenario now. Okay, what's the next one? The next one is going to be the desert. Oh dear. Let me know if you can't see it, but otherwise, can everyone see it? Is it okay for everyone? Right. So the next scenario is called trapped in the desert. Okay. First of all, let's take a look at the text. So I will try to read it out for you and then explain all the words that you may not necessarily know. So a group of friends is driving across the desert. So you can imagine you're part of a group, that's absolutely fine, no problem, and we're driving. So presumably we're in a car or a 4x4. All at once, and suddenly, there is a terrible sandstorm. Now, do you know what a sandstorm is? Do you understand the expression? Right. So it's basically a storm with a lot of sand. So you can't see, you can barely see anything. Now, the next sentence, the car engine gets completely clogged up and they're stranded miles from anywhere. So when your engine gets clogged up, what is the danger? What does that mean? If your engine is clogged up, Clara, what do you think?
You can't advance.
Exactly, you can't move, you can't do anything because the engine is out. It's clogged up when something gets inside. So it could be sand, it could be breadcrumbs, it could be water, but when it's clogged up, it's basically blocked. Very good. And when you're stranded somewhere, it means you can't reach another destination. Right, let's continue. Night falls and the baking desert turns freezing cold. So here we've got a contrast in the sentence. Martin, can you see what the contrast is? Where the contrast is?
Yes, it's maybe in the desert, it's warm, but the night is coming and the cold is coming too.
Yes, very good. Very, very good. Well done, Martin. So in the desert, during the day, we say it's baking hot. Baking like in the oven when we make a cake. Do you see what I mean? Or cookies, it's baking hot. And then at night, it may actually turn freezing cold when the sun sets. So that could be the problem. Okay? So here at the bottom, I've got some words, some vocabulary to help you. Aline, could you possibly read the words for us in red? The words in red? Aline, please. So blame, these ones at the bottom. Oh, hold on, she's just writing. Maybe Martin, could you read the words?
Yes, so blame, heat stroke, rationing, water, food, survival, mirror, rescue.
Very good. So these are just some ideas behind sort of different theories that you could come up with to write the continuation of the story. Maybe some people will start blaming each other. Someone will say, oh, it's your fault, you didn't check the engine, or I don't know. Heat stroke is actually a very difficult situation where you're basically so hot, you start feeling dehydrated, you could lose consciousness, you know, and so on. Rationing is when we cut the use of something. So for example, if we ration water, and water is the next word, or food, for example, which is the next word, means we reduce how much we eat in a certain at a certain interval. Okay. Then we've got survival. Of course, mirror. Do you have an idea why mirror is there? Manon, can you think of why a mirror might be there?
Maybe it's when you like dream of water, for example, and
oh yes, and you see the mirage.
Yes.
I see. Okay, very good. That could be it. Also, if you look at the word combination mirror and rescue, the last word, you can start thinking, okay, maybe you can catch during the day the sunlight, the rays of sun, and have them reflect, and that is how you can call for rescue if you have a mirror, but maybe you don't. So anyway, I will give you a moment to think of what's going to happen next. But please, please, please be careful here. As you can see, the tense is not the past. Do you see? It's the present tense. It's the story in the past, okay? But we're using the present tense to get us really into the story. We are driving. Suddenly there is a storm. Okay, I will give you a moment to write a couple of sentences and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so we're about to start checking what you've written, but please, 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 before you read it out, can you double check that everything you have written just now is in the present tense? So I go, John calls for rescue, I use a mirror, make sure that it is the present tense, which is one of the alternatives for telling a story, okay? Martin, would you like to go first this time?
Yes, so I wrote the people are first blaming each other, and after that, asking if somebody has a mobile to call for rescue. And after that, checking if the water is enough for everybody.
Very, very good. So here you use the present continuous. You could have used the present simple, like the night falls, the baking desert turns cold, people call for rescue, they look for the phone. I guess you have a choice here, but it was very good. Thank you, Martin. Now, Clara, did you want to try yours? Did you want to try? Oh, we can't hear you. You just get your microphone on.
Yes, I have not finished, but I can say what I have.
Okay.
So we are completely lost, and we don't have food, we don't have water, but we are searching for a mirror in order to call for rescue.
Very, very good. Okay, excellent. Manon, do you want to do yours?
Yes.
Yeah, go on.
We begin to blame each other. My friend accuses me it was my idea. We start rationing of water and food. I find a mirror which could help us tomorrow to cook food. It can rescue us.
Excellent. Very, very good, Manon. Now, Aline, if you want, you can just write your story. You can write it to me in a private message. You can continue writing in a private message if you wish. Okay. And now, what we're going to do now is we're going to go more towards suspense. We're only going to look at one more scenario, but I really want to focus on this suspense because we went from a story in the past, using the past, a story in the past using the present tense to make us really feel like we're part of the story. And now we're going to look at another one. And this is the last scenario we'll be looking at, and then we'll do another exercise. Now, the last one is going to be this one, suspense. Can you all see it? Yes? Okay, excellent. Who could read that? Maybe Manon, would you like to read it? Fresh snowfall brings.
Fresh snowfall brings an eerie quiet to the forest where I am staying alone in a log cabin for the weekend.
Hold on,
Suddenly,
can we just pause here? Stop. Okay, very good. That is very well read. So the situation is so we're saying it's in the first person. I am staying in a log cabin all alone. So you're alone, okay? And you're here for the weekend. It's in the middle of the forest. The snow fell, it's quiet, we can't hear anything. Imagine the situation. Continue, Manon.
Suddenly, the silence is broken by a clattering in the kitchen, then footsteps on the stairs. What next?
Thank you very much. That's it. Very good. So the situation is quite intense. So we know it's like a horror film. We know something surprising is going to happen. So have a think. What's out there? Is it burglars, cats, maybe wild animals? Maybe there's some wailing noise you can hear. And this noise, is it a person calling for help? Or is it just the wind? You know, create the end or the continuation to the story. Just a couple of sentences, okay? So let's go. Maybe one, at least one, but very good sentence. I'm giving you a moment. All right, let's try and check now. First of all, make sure you double check and triple check. Number one, it has to be the present tense. So go, see, hear, check. And secondly, it has to be the first person to really to maintain the suspense. As you can see, we went from the past, the present, but in the third person. So they go, he goes, to I go. And really, now you've got all the tools that you need to be able to create a lovely story. So if you want the suspense, you know, you probably should be leading with I go, I see, and so on. So anyway, let's have a look. Martin, what have you got?
I look around me to find an object, a knife or something else to protect me, and a light. I'm afraid, but I wait to see what will happen.
Oh my goodness, that's excellent. And literally, you described it so well that I could really imagine it. So I could really imagine it. Well done, Martin. Okay, Manon, do you want to try yours?
Yes. I remember that I had not closed the door. A bear is just in front of me in my kitchen, eating some honey he finds somewhere.
Okay, very good. Very, very good. Thank you very much. Okay, Clara.
Yes. Is it just the wind or some wild animals? The wind or some wild animals? I suddenly imagine that there are burglars on the kitchen. That's why I have to check by my own, and I look for a broom or in a
Broom or stick, yes, very good. Excellent, very, very good. Well done, Clara. Okay, hold on, I had something, I had a comment for you. Can you read the beginning of your story again? The wind, and that's it. The wind, you don't need to read it. Careful with the pronunciation, because if you say to wind, it's this movement. When you turn something like that, you wind it up. So for example, in the old cars, we didn't have buttons to push the windows up and down. We had to wind them down. Do you see? So that's winding, whereas here it's the wind. Very good. Now, who did I not ask? Aline wrote her story. Okay, that's fine. So now, ladies, thank you very much. That was amazing exercise. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to move on to the next one. So we'll spend the next 10 minutes playing a little game. Okay, and again, I'm going to share yet another screen with you to show you the kind of game we're going to play. So we're going to play the game, fake or real. It's the news game, okay? So as you can imagine, I will read out a story, or you will look at the story, and I'd like us to discuss whether you think the story is fake or real and why, all right? So now we're going to have to use your arguments. So yes, it's storytelling, but now I would like you to speak a little bit more and give me your theory, all right? So the next one is going to be this one. Okay, fire brigade. Can you see it? Yes, can you see the screen? Is it okay? A little bit difficult?
No, we can see it.
Yeah, it's okay? Okay, excellent. So the date, Clara, can you give me the date of this press article?
It's 15th May 2017.
Very good. So you can say 2017, 15th of May, or 2017. It's up to you. Okay, so it's about a fire brigade. The title is, Martin, are you able to read the title? Fire brigade?
Yes. So fire brigade called as firefighter put out fire at fire station.
Oh my goodness, very good. So much fire, 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 fire. So basically, the fire brigade is a team of people, as a team of firefighters or firemen. They were called as firefighters put out fire at fire station. It sounds almost like a tongue twister, okay? Let me read it out to you. So firefighters from Winchester in Hightown and Alton were called to a fire at a rather unusual location, another fire station. The fire had broken out at Alresford Station, which is shared with Hampshire Police, and was empty at the time. Luckily, they were able to put out the fire and no one was hurt in the blaze. So it's a story that presumably we saw in a paper clipping about a fire at a fire station. Now, do you believe or do you think it's a fake? Give me your ideas. Clara, what do you think?
Maybe it could be possible.
Could be possible. Why? I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but why do you think it could be possible?
I don't know, maybe the firefighters at the station were not here.
Maybe they were
because,
absent. Yes, good point.
Because it was on un jour férié, on a day.
A day off. A day off.
A day off.
Very good. I mean, there's a possibility. There's always a possibility that it was empty. Martin, what do you think? Real or fake, and why?
No, I think it could be real.
Oh gosh, you agree with Clara. Okay.
Yes, because the article tells us that the fire station was empty, so probably that the fire brigade will be called to another accident. So that's why the fire station was empty.
Okay,
and that's why maybe the other brigade has to come to put out this fire.
Okay. Oh, well, interesting. Everybody agrees. Does anybody think it's fake? Does anybody think it's fake, Manon?
Yes, I think it's fake.
What?
A fire station could not be empty. There is always someone in the fire station if there is an accident or something else.
Okay, yes, I mean, Manon, I'm actually with you on it. I agree with your reasoning. However, the story is real. I don't know if you can see it properly. It is a real story. It did happen, not because it was empty, but for some particular reason, for some other reason. So anyway, shall we do one more? One more story? We've got time for one more. Let's do one more. Okay, what's the other one? I think it's this one. Oh yes, the flight. Who wants to read it? Manon, go on. Give me the date and the title, please.
On the 14th of June 2016, long-haul flight goes ahead despite only carrying one passenger.
So only one passenger. What's a long-haul flight? What does that mean? Short haul, long haul? Does anybody know?
It's maybe a plane. You go very far. Long courrier in French.
I don't know the French equivalent, Martin, but you're absolutely spot on. So, for example, if we leave Paris or Strasbourg and we go all the way to Bangkok in Thailand, it's a long haul flight. It means it's not just like an intercity flight. It's a very long one. Okay. So here I'll read out the story in case you can't read it, in case the writing is not clear. So a long haul flight from Cambodia to Russia went ahead despite only carrying one passenger. The flight was almost cancelled due to having no one on board, when suddenly one person bought a last-minute ticket. The solo passenger had an entire flight crew to himself and was also allowed to visit the cockpit and meet the pilots during the flight. I mean, it sounds like paradise. Do you believe it or not? Oh, Clara doesn't believe it. Okay, what's up, Clara? What's going on?
I think it's a fake because for me a long haul flight is possible only if there are a lot of people. Yes.
Absolutely. No, I would agree with you. I love your reason. I absolutely love it. But the story could still be true. Now, Manon, do you have another idea for us?
I think maybe it could be possible because I heard a story where a long haul flight was just having like 4 or 5 passengers, so maybe one passenger that could be possible.
Oh, yes. Okay. Martin, do you want to add anything? Do you believe in the story, or do you believe the story is true, or do you think it's a fake?
No, I think it's a fake.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not sure that passenger, even it's just one, is allowed to visit the cockpit. I think it's forbidden.
Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay, Martin, I like that. Now, I also really liked Aline's comment. She wrote to me that she thinks that, it's absolutely possible because the passenger could be very rich, filthy rich. So it's sort of like the private jet idea. Now, very interesting. Now, I'm going to solve the mystery here and tell you it is fake. I don't know why. Now, it's possible that you can't actually buy a last-minute ticket on a flight that's sort of about to be cancelled. But anyway, now, ladies, I'd like you to push on, and as the last exercise, I would very much like you to practice and tell us some of your stories. Okay? Have a think, give us a couple of sentences, and we'll tell you if we think we believe in it or not. If you have a story in mind, decide, do I want to tell the story as is, or do I want to change something slightly in my story? Okay, let's have a look. Who wants to go first? So once again, sorry, I'm interrupting your thinking. Once again, if you really want the story to be in the past, just a normal story in the past, make sure you use the second column. Okay, so it's the green column. So became, began, came, so it's just past simple. Okay. Clara, do you want to try?
Yes, maybe. So last year I was on vacation in Canada. We were in the Wild West of the Canada, near Vancouver. So at almost 100 kilometers from Vancouver, we moved to Whistler, which is a city that is surrounded by a lot of forests and therefore by a lot of wildlife. So we decided to go for a walk. Yes, if I remember correctly, it was for in order to discover a lake. But we came back when we came back from the walk. It was the evening, yes, and we saw some hair on the path. And then we noticed.
Just for those of you who don't know, a hare is like a rabbit. It's a wild rabbit, basically, isn't it? That's what you're talking about, the hares.
The hares, yes.
Yes, so,
Yes.
so they're basically bigger than rabbits, and they're more sort of, they're standing upright. Yes, okay.
Yes, and we noticed a bear climbing climbing a tree very close to us.
Oh gosh, okay, stop the story. Okay. The hares and then the bear. Okay, who believes
Yes.
in the story, who doesn't? Ladies, go on. I believe in the hare, I don't believe in the bear. Go on. What do you think? Manon, Aline, Martin?
I can't express myself because I know the answer.
Okay, stop, don't say anything. Martin, what do you think? Is it true? Was it true? Did she see a bear in Canada?
Yes, I think it's possible because it's a waste place that I will go one day maybe.
Oh,
and
yes,
you can find
a dream, isn't it? Okay. Oh gosh.
and you can find maybe a lot of bears. So I think it's possible.
It sounds so scary. Clara, just tell us what happened. Was it true or not?
Oh, it was true.
True. Did you see a bear? Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
I saw 7 bears.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Oh gosh. Well, thank you so much for this story. My goodness. Now, ladies, we don't have any gentlemen today. Anyway, ladies, I would like to leave you with some food for thought. Now, I'm going to pull up on the screen my last screen share. And this is what is thought to be the world's shortest 6-word novel. So if you can see, there are only 6 words here, but it is considered to be a novel by Ernest Hemingway. So one day he was asked, apparently, we don't know if the story is true or not, but everybody says it's true, so we'll see. We don't know. So Ernest Hemingway, a famous author, famous writer, was asked one day to write a very short novel. And they said, you know, it was like a challenge. You know, here are the 6 words, you know, any 6 words, pick any 6 words and write it. And he did. So, for sale, baby shoes, never worn. That's it. So you see, short is sweet. You don't necessarily have to give a lot of detail, although very often detail, some sort of level of detail will be asked of you. But actually, your words, if you choose them carefully, can be really punchy. They can say a lot, can't they? So anyway, for sale, baby shoes, never worn. So with that in mind, I guess I'm going to thank you all for your contributions today. All right. Keep sending in your work if you wish me to have a look at it, to go over it, use the scenarios from today, the homework from previous sessions. Keep sending them to me and I'll come back to you. All right. All right.